9 months ago, I made a huge mistake. I imported 4 Suzuki Jimnys that are technically banned from sale in the UK and then got stuck with them. For months, they sat here, eating money, costing me storage, costing me insurance. Everyone said I was an idiot and I'd never be able to sell them, and I was starting to think they were right. In this video, I'm going to show you exactly how I managed to sell these supposedly unsellable cars. I'll show you the modifications I had to make to get the deals done, the nightmare with the wheels that almost killed the first sale, and the bird poo disaster that almost ruined the second sale, plus the headache I'm still having to deal with these last 2 cars. I became a car dealer by accident, and honestly, it's been way harder than I thought. Let me start with the beige automatic Jimny, the friend of a friend, and a big problem with the wheels. The first serious customer I had was for the beige automatic Jimny. Now, he wasn't some random lead off a website, he was actually a friend of a friend, which is probably the worst type of customer actually, because if it goes wrong, it gets super awkward at barbecues. So this chap heard I had this beige Jimny. He wanted something that looked a bit different, and they're quite rare. Also, he definitely wanted an automatic, so he was really, really interested. And I was like, yeah, mate, listen, come over, come check it out. And then I remembered it had scuffed alloy wheels. Now, what had happened was, the way they ship these cars, they drive 2 into a container, then they put 2 others at an angle like that, holding them up by their nose so you can park the other 2 underneath, and they hold them up using some metal cabling. They do put a plastic shroud round the metal cable and then feed it through the alloy wheels to hold the cars up. But as the ship is sailing on a rough sea, cars kind of move about like that, and it basically just ground through the plastic shroud and started to scuff the alloy wheels on this car, but also the beige Jimny as well. So I needed to get them fixed, and I needed to get them fixed fast. So I called a company called JR Alloy Wheel Repair to save my skin, as they'd done a cracking job fixing the scuffed wheels on my mother's Tesla. They came out to me with their repair van, and I explained my predicament to their technician.
So Gabriel, if you look here, we've got like a little scuff there, there's another one there, and is there another one somewhere else? I think there's somewhere else.
It's down there.
Oh, yeah, you've already spotted him where I did. And it's my wheel. Anyway, let me show you the other one, because they're all on the front, you see, because the cars were suspended. So if you look here, like we've got a little scuff there. It's all the same kind of stuff where they were just like rubbed by this cable. And then if you look on this one, it's similar kind of thing. Where's the one on? Can you spot the one on there?
It's on here.
Yeah, that's right. Okay, right, and then let's just check the final side. I'm pretty sure it's only on the front. Oh, that's the worst one there.
Yes. Another small one.
Another well spotted. So what's the plan with this? Are you just going to like touch these bits up for me?
No. So basically, we're just gonna follow the full process. We're just gonna take it into an acid bath, and after that, just do it a full powder coating.
Right. Okay. Oh my God. Okay. Why don't you just touch it up? I mean, there's not much really. Why?
It's just gonna end up flaking after a few weeks if we're just gonna do like a smart repair.
Okay. So smart repair ain't so smart.
Yeah. So basically, he's not that smart. Yeah.
Gabrielle removed the damaged alloy wheels from the beige and green Jimnys, fitted loan wheels, and took mine away to their workshop. There they removed the original paint, smoothed and filled the scuffs, applied a powder coat, then clear coat, and finally baked them in the oven. In 2 days they were back just in time for the beige Jimny buyer to view the car, much to my relief. But there was a slight problem.
I've got the wheels back and they're absolutely mint, like new, no scuffs, but I've noticed something. So the colour of this doesn't quite match the original. This is a bit more goldy, this is more grey-y. To be fair, I actually prefer that than that. But just out of interest, I've got another original one here, and you can see while it's a closer match to that, it's still not exactly, so even from factory they don't quite match up. But what exactly is going on here?
I spoke to JR boss Johnny to find out what was going on, as when they did my mum's wheels, they matched perfectly.
So Johnny, what happened?
So sometimes it's virtually impossible to match the color of the wheels. In this particular case, we went to our suppliers and they couldn't find a perfect match to the wheel. So I guess Suzuki owners, they don't actually damage their wheels.
Yeah, I mean, you've got a lot of sidewall there. You don't tend to curve the wheels unless you have them on a container ship like me.
So for most manufacturers, 99% of the time, you can match the color perfectly, no issues whatsoever. However, on these ones, because they are so rare and people don't tend to damage them, you end up with a situation like this.
How do they do it then? How do they get this
So you've got a color swatch, so you look at something that's extremely close to the original color of the wheel. Now the challenge here is that on a car, for instance, you can blend the color in, whereas with wheels you cannot do that.
No.
And so we got something that's very close to the original color. However, we do recognize it's not 100% the same.
Okay, but this is a rare situation.
Exactly.
But it does happen sometimes.
Exactly.
But we have a solution because we have 4 in this shade and 4 in this shade.
Correct.
So I have an idea.
So I came up with a plan. Swap the refurbed front wheels from the more expensive delivery mileage beige car with the 2,000 mile green car's rear wheels. So there's matching shades on both. Genius. But then there was the issue of tyre wear.
So this is the refurbished wheel off the brand new beige car. You'll see that the tyre on it was from the 7th week of 2024. This is an unrefurbished wheel from the used car, and you can see that that tyre is dated the 51st week of 23. So there's only 8 weeks between the production of these tyres. I'm just going to check the tread depth now because obviously this has been driven a few thousand miles. Here's my 50p, and actually the tread depth is identical. So there's no problem in swapping the wheels around.
Crisis averted, and the best bit, it only cost me £300. Things were looking up, but there was another twist. So once the wheels were fixed, the chap was able to come round to look at the beige Jimny, and he absolutely loved the car. He loved the colour, he loved the spec, he said he wanted it, and he was willing to pay the full asking price. But there was a catch. You see, he didn't want that beige Suzuki Jimny, he wanted his beige Suzuki Jimny, which meant using my other cars as a sort of parts bin. You see, he wanted the grille off the black car, which is like the one on my own Suzuki Jimny, so it's not got the vertical slats, it's got this Suzuki written on it. He also wanted the fabric wheel cover off the green car, and he wanted the car under sealed as well. So now the beige car is as good as sold, but the problem is that my other cars are losing bits of themselves to make it happen. This used to have a wheel cover on it, but now it doesn't. However, I agreed to it, you know, first sale, friend of a friend, I wanted to make him happy with the car, but you know, first sale done. I was happy. Thought it was going to be easy, maybe. And then I realised something. The next issue wasn't with the car, but actually the tax man. You see, I couldn't take any of these cars and store them at my house because then HMRC would say that they were available for my private use, and then it would want to tax me on them as if they're company cars. They'd work out the price of that based on their list price, how much they cost, and then I'll be taxed at 45%, and per car it would mean it would cost me £3,000 a year. So for 4 cars, £12,000 to pay the taxman if I so much as take these cars to my house. So I needed to find somewhere to store them. So I found this place, real good unit to store them in. Obviously it doesn't come cheap, so I'm having to pay to store the cars, but it's better than paying the taxman for just keeping them at my house. And it meant that I was able to get the other Jimnys delivered here so I could start working on them and get them sold. But there were some other costs to think about. You see, I've got quite a lot of money tied up in these Jimnys, so if anything was to happen to them, say someone stole them or they burst into flames, I'd be seriously out of pocket. So I needed to get insurance. Now, these cars aren't really registered, so I'm not going to be driving them, but I still need cover. And it costs me 300 quid per car to insure them, just to stand still, not even drive them. That's what being a car dealer is like. Lots of costs. So I've got money tied up in the cars, I'm paying for storage, I'm paying for insurance, I'm paying for the cars to be modified, I'm paying to have them transported about, to have things done. And then I decided to make my life even harder by having the beige car modified even more. Now, I couldn't let a car go to a customer with that in the centre of the dash, so I needed to call my stereo fitter to get a proper head unit installed into the vehicle. This is Ian Cross, stereo fitter extraordinaire. He's fitted loads of stereos to Jimnys and started off by laying out all the bits he needed and then pre-wiring all the cables. He then removed the passenger door seal and A-pillar trim, threaded through the telephone mic and fed the wire into the glove box. The DAB antenna was fitted next and part of the pillar paint was removed to give an earth, so it works properly. Once installed, the trim was replaced, which is when I decided to help out.
Do you know what, when I first got this car, I thought I could just pull this out like that. That's not the case, is it?
No.
No. So I've been shown what to do. I need to remove this bit of trim first. Now Ian made it look easy, so let's find out if it I don't want to damage. I'm really nervous about damaging the stuff. How the hell did did you get that? Don't you dare operate the camera and do it one-handed. You.
Look at this, look at this, look at this. He's done it one-handed. Okay, now I'm going to get in here and do the screws. It's embarrassing. Do the screws. I can do this, I can screw things. Normally screw them up. Right, then I use this to lever this bit out. Yes. Then I just give it a good hold. There we are. Where's the clip, isn't there? Oh, I don't want to scratch anything. I've got to sell these cars. I've got presenter's fingers. I can't do that one. Can you do it? If you do this while holding the camera as well. No, you can't. No, you can't. You're like, please don't do it. Let's have a look at your thumbs. Look at this. You see? Look at that. Look at that. That's working man's hands. That is money counting hands.
What we're going to do is we've virtually transferred our red clips now over to our new fascia.
Okay.
So that is dead, gone, finished. So our new lovely fascia there is ready to go in. So we can locate it on that. 2 clips, we're in and done, and then we can put our trim back on the front and we're done.
Next, Ian connected all the steering wheel control wiring, prepped the head unit cage and slid it into position. And then he showed that even professionals make mistakes.
Easier to
upside down.
Oh.
See?
Down.
Yeah, there you go. Look at that.
To fit the reversing camera, Ian fed the wire through a grommet in the boot floor, attached the camera just above the number plate, connected it up to an RC lead that fed into the head unit, and made everything look neat before replacing the boot trim. The cable was led to the front of the car and hidden under more trim. Then he cut into the wiring harness and isolated the reversing light feed and spliced in the reversing camera's power. Finally, he replaced the trim panels. But would it work?
Okay, so that's the whole procedure complete. Now I'm going to test the system. So let's put the car on. So we've got the head unit firing up. There we go, we've got digital radio. I'm going to check out my steering wheel controls. So that's my volume working, and I can change station, change again. Yeah, that's all good. Put it onto mute. Mute, there we go. And now I'm just going to go into the screen, go home, Apple CarPlay. Look, we've got Apple CarPlay and everything, look at that. That's Google Maps there. You got your normal menus there as well. That's all good. Now we're going to test the reversing camera. So I'm going to put it into reverse. Should show reverse. We have a reversing camera, there we go. If I put it into park, what you can do, which you can't do on most cars, is if I go into home, then press menu, press this button here, and it gives you the reverse as well. And actually, when you're driving along, you can actually keep that view up. You don't have to be in reverse. It all works perfect.
That should have been that. But there was something bothering me.
Do you know what? I really like to make life hard for myself. You see this stereo here? Looks a bit different, doesn't it, than the one you just fitted to that beige Jimny? Well, that's because it's the higher spec version of that stereo. And after playing around with the one in the beige car, I thought, do you know what? I don't think the screen definition is quite enough. So I ordered these upgraded systems from Car Audio Security. They sent them out and I got Ian to refit one of these to the beige Jimny and take the lower spec model back. I don't know why I do it to myself. Anyhow, that meant the beige car was now finished.
With it complete, it was then just a case of Ian fitting stereos to the other 3 Jimnys, while I cracked on with the first sale.
I wanted the beige car to be absolutely spotless for collection, so I had it valeted inside and out before sending it off for undersealing. But yet again, there were some hidden costs. I haven't got round to sorting out trade plates yet or proper trade insurance so I can drive unregistered cars on the road. So, because the paperwork hadn't been sorted for the beige car yet and I needed to get it to the undersealing place, I had to get a trailer to get it shipped there, which cost over £100.
The car was undersealed with Lanagard for £300 to give it extra rust protection. Then I had to pay to have it delivered back to my unit for another £100 and pay a further £100 to have the optional Suzuki grille from the black car removed and installed onto the beige car as per the buyer's request, before finally getting the car registered. With that all done, the beige Jimny was ready for handover and possibly my first ever sale. Hopefully, I wouldn't cock that up.
Here's your car then, Ian.
Awesome, looking good.
Change the grille for you.
Yeah.
I prefer that grille. I think it's better.
Yeah, it's way better than the big S there, isn't it?
We've got it undersealed as well.
Thank you very much.
It's a Lana Guard too. It doesn't like have a black covering. You can actually just see that the paint underneath.
Yeah.
Which I kind of wish mine had. Mine's like all dark underneath. It means that if you do get rust bubbles or stuff, you'll see it. Whereas if you have like a black covering one, you can't see any rot going on if it's underneath. Because I know you're going to be off-roading this, aren't you?
Yeah, around the farm, exactly.
So do you know about the running in procedure?
Yeah, I know about it.
Are you the kind of guy that runs cars in?
No.
So if I tell it you, will you even bother to do it or not?
I will listen, and I might do 50% of it.
Do you need to know to pop the bonnet, just in case you want to go underneath? It's no.
That one.
Is it there? Yeah, you can reach in further. This has got to be the worst handover of any. There we go.
No,
that'll be the steering wheel. Right. Embarrassing. I've got one of these cars. I don't even know how to do this. Right. You got it. Was that the noise?
No, that was the seat.
Okay, here we go.
There we are. That's the fuel?
No, that's fuel. I meant to show you that next.
It's there somewhere.
It's here. Look.
All right, perfect.
Okay.
I'm going to forget anyway. So
Good.
Yeah.
I'm like trying to go through the motions though. This is like my first thing. This is the first car I've actually sold, like as a business.
That doesn't make me a mug, by the way.
Makes us both mugs. Look, I can't even open. This is rubbish. This is rubbish.
There's got to be one that.
No, it's here. It's not a BMW.
Well,
you're going to give it a double pull like
okay.
like a
This
BMW.
is 6.2 litre V8, yeah?
That's it. Natural speed, 6.2
As
litre
sold.
V8. Yeah, as seen, sold as seen, my friend. Do you want to just go for a little spin?
Go on then.
Make sure it works and doesn't break down.
Where is the key?
It's in the.
It's in here somewhere.
If you crash it, you buy it. I think we need to pump up his tyres. I haven't got a pump with me. I'll tell you what, I'm definitely not a good salesman because part of me doesn't actually want to sell that car because I really like the look of it. I like having all the cars. I'm not sure I want to let them go. I think I'm more like a pet breeder. You know, like a pet breeder, like they, you know, when the cat has kittens and it must be really hard to let go of the kittens. I'm not like that with the cars. Here, look, I've got your
Fantastic.
spare wheel cover.
Thank you very much.
Here is the manual, it should be. That's some documents in Japanese there. It's one of the service book. Don't know how to fit it.
Is that in the middle?
I don't know. Shall we just? Let's just. I reckon that's something for you to like play with when you get home.
That's for me to sort out. And all this is getting sorted out when we change the plates and stuff anyway.
Okay, right.
Perfect.
So I think that's it then.
Yeah.
I don't think there's anything else. Listen, thank you very
Thanks,
much.
Matt. Cheers.
No, I appreciate it. Thanks for being my first ever customer.
And last.
I hope not.
First of many, no doubt.
First of many. That was it. My first sale was done. I got the asking price, the customer was happy, and the car left the unit under its own power and not on a trailer. For 10 minutes I thought, this car dealing lark, it's easy. And then the reality set in. Because after that first sale, for the next few months, nothing really happened. And these Jimnys were burning a massive hole in my pocket. The first sale was almost too easy. He paid the asking price, drove away happy, and I got complacent. I thought to myself, well, I've done a big YouTube video about importing these cars. People are just going to email me, job done. So I didn't really push them on my socials, and part of the reason was I was just a little bit busy doing car wire stuff. I just thought people would contact me, but that's not really how selling cars works. So I thought to myself, I know, I'll set up a website, which is exactly what I did. I called it Japanese Dream Machines. Quite pleased with that name, actually. And we listed the cars on there. It looks really nice. I'm paying a regular monthly fee for someone to host it. All good, I thought. However, people don't tend to search for randomjimnyimporter.com, do they? I had no traffic. What you really need is a website where there's lots of people already looking for cars. And I thought to myself, wait a minute, Matt, you work for one of those? CarWow. So CarWow does new cars and used cars. So I decided to list my cars on CarWow. It was actually dead cheap. They had a special introductory offer, £15 per listing. And with them now listed on CarWow, the inquiries started to flood in. The problem was that people thought I was a proper car dealer when in fact, I'm not. A lot of people these days want to pay for their car using finance. So with the inquiries I got through, many were just saying, so what finance do you offer? And I was like, I can't offer finance. I'm not FCA regulated and I haven't sorted out a deal with a broker either. So I had to turn them away. But then I got an email from someone up in Ormskirk who was interested in the black car, and they were happy to pay cash. However, an issue with bird poo and glue almost put a stop to that sale. I did the deal with the chap up in Ormskirk. We agreed the price and I sorted for transportation to get it trailered all the way up north for the cost of £400. But while the car was being prepped and ready to go, the cleaners at the last minute spotted a problem with the roof. When the valeter was shampooing the roof, they noticed in one of these indentations there was a pile of bird poo. Now, it'd probably been on there since the port in Japan, and it had started to eat into the paintwork. Also, the exporters had put a load of stickers on the windscreen, and they'd used some kind of glue which was almost impossible to remove. There was no way that I could send the car up to the buyer within that state, because they'd be like, okay, this is just odd, what else is wrong with the car? They might even reject it. You know, I was really worried that a seagull and some bad stationery was going to ruin my sale. Fortunately, on this site is a company called Greenhouse, and they do vehicle logistics, and they had a team that could actually deal with the problem. They helped me out. They did me an absolute blinder. They were able to polish out the marks in the roof so it looked like new, and they removed the stubborn glue from the windscreen so I could get the car on the trailer and get it delivered to the customer. They got it and they were happy. So that's 2 Jimnys sold, the beige one and a black one, like mine. But I'm still sat on 2 of the Jimnys, and my money's been tied up in them for almost 9 months now, and with every inquiry I have with them, there are the 3 same questions that come up. What about servicing? What about insurance? And what about warranty? On insurance, these cars are Japanese imports. Look, it's a Jimny Sierra, not a Jimny, like we call it in the UK. I mean, it is the same car really, but some insurers want to charge a premium for the fact that it's Japanese. So if you're thinking about buying one of these cars, you absolutely have to check with your insurance company first as to how much it'll cost. Servicing, that's straightforward. You've got the same 1.5 litre petrol engine as the UK spec car. They are virtually identical, apart from this has keyless entry. Any Suzuki dealer or quality independent would be able to look after them. The awkward bit is warranty. You see, while I've got all the necessary paperwork and everything for these cars, the Japanese warranty doesn't apply in the UK. Suzuki UK will not pay to get this car fixed if something goes wrong with it, like they would if it was a UK supply car. So I'm having to underwrite these cars myself. I am offering buyers 6 months warranty, so if anything goes wrong due to a manufacturing defect in the first 6 months since they bought it, I will have to cover it. And already I've had a cost because something went wrong with the beige Jimny. One day I got a text from the owner saying, "Oh, Matt, loving the car. Unfortunately though, for some reason the indicators have stopped working." I was like, great, that could be anything. Hopefully not wiring loom, because that would write off the car and I'd be giving him his money back. Anyhow, I hired an engineer to go out and inspect the car and find out what the problem was. The engineer is someone who's worked on lots and lots of Jimnys, so he went out with a special computer, plugged it into the car and found out what was going wrong. Apparently the battery had gone a little bit low and it sort of fried the car's brain a bit and it needed a little reset, and everything was working fine, which was great. However, it did cause me to panic a little bit, and it took me time, energy and a bit of money to pay that engineer for his time. And you know what? While all this was going on, one of my own cars decided that it would have a meltdown too. This is my Porsche Boxster, and it's decided to join the drama. So it's had an engine warning light pop up on the dash, a sort of blown sound from the exhaust, and the alarm has been going bonkers. So while I've been trying to be a Jimny dealer, my own car has been going, "Oh, look at me!" So I bought the car to Auto Farm. They're Porsche experts near Bicester, brilliant reputation. They know what they're doing. And they checked the car over. They found out that it needed a new catalytic converter and a new battery because the old one was dead and was causing all sorts of electrical weirdness. So they ordered the replacement parts from GSF Car Parts. Got my Drive Tech battery, I've got my new catalytic converter. Let's get these fitted to the car. Thanks GSF, by the way, thank you. This is Paul, he's a super tech here at Auto Farm. He's been working on the car, he's gonna fit the new cat, but first, Paul, you're gonna give me a quick appraisal of my lovely Boxster.
Generally, she's in good order.
Okay.
Interior is stunning. It drives very, very nice, but the underside, as you can see, has started to go home.
Do you know what's happened? This was owned by a chap in Scotland.
Right.
He used to work abroad. He'd come home in winter, drive it on the roads and park it up into a warm garage. So it's basically been left to dissolve.
Yes. It does look worse than it is, actually, but it is awful. Yeah.
It does look worse than it is, but it is awful.
Yeah.
Like the gear shift, I've noticed, is really like stiff.
As you see on this little linkage here, so the ball joints are seized. A bit of general maintenance would free that up quite nicely.
But look at all these other bits. Look at the rust on that.
Yeah, it's not good.
And like the shocks are just rusted, the drop links are rusted. Is it just going to dissolve around me now?
It's not going to dissolve. It's everything's sort of starting to corrode all at the same time. So yes, you're going to have many new parts all at the same time.
I'm going to be calling GSF again, aren't I?
I think you're going to have to.
Right, okay. Is the chassis going to rot out?
Chassis is perfect. Honestly, it drives very well and there's no corrosion to any of the chassis. These are generally pretty good. There's a lot of underseal, so all this is protected. And in very, very good order. Brake pipes, not so. As you can see, they've gone green. These aren't original. They're kind of copper replacements, and they've seen better days. So again, a nice new set of brake pipes would completely transform this car.
Are they safe though?
Yes, they're safe.
Okay, that's what matters. Look, there's rust here and here on the oh, that doesn't look good. Is the chassis rotting?
It's not. Again, that's where two chassis parts have been sort of bonded together, and it's a standard on 986 and 996s. They all do this. Admittedly, yours is a little bit worse than normal.
Yeah.
But with a little bit of TSC, that would just transform that. But it's not corroded. It's not deep. It's just surface.
What do you recommend I do with this car?
If I was you, I would obviously shock absorbers are service items. Drop links are service items.
Yeah.
Change these items.
Yeah.
I would change the brake pipes just to be on the safe side.
Okay.
If the future-proof it, I would steam clean the whole underside and then completely wax it. And honestly, that would transform it and preserve it, basically.
But first, the thing is, I need to get it on the road.
Yes.
We need to be able to drive it. Let's get this catalytic converter on. And I'm here to help. I've got my gloves on.
We put the cat in place, fitted the new gasket, bolted everything together, reconnected the O2 sensors, and finally refitted the under tray to prevent even more rust.
Now we need to get to the front of the car and sort the battery out. Help guide it in, please, Paul.
Go on. Come over. That's it. And down. That's it. If you can shove it this way, push it all the way to this. It.
Okay. Battery's fitted. Light's not going crazy. Let me just check that it works. And then I want to check there's no engine warning light. First of all, the alarm and central locking. Whoop. That's because I've got the bonnet open, isn't it?
Yep.
So that's fine. Not having to open it on the key. This is the big one though. Come on, no engine warning light, please. Yes! Yes! We fixed it. Now, if you need to fix your car, and you want some parts, whether you want to do it yourself or maybe you need to take it to the garage, you should head to gsfcarparts.com and use the code MW25 for up to 25% off. If you want to go there directly now, follow the link in the description of this video or the pinned comment. Alternatively, you can scan the QR code on screen or click on the pop-out banner appearing now. So, my Boxster is fixed, that's good. I've sold 2 Jimnys, but I've still got 2 more to sell. And they're the ones I thought would be the easiest to sell, the green one and the grey one. So can I finally shift them? Anyway, huge thanks to Paul and Auto Farm. At this point, I'm down to 2 Jimnys, the grey one and the green one. Now, these are the ones I actually thought would sell the soonest because they're in desirable colours. Also, I specifically bought manual cars because a lot of the imported Jimnys online are automatics. The manuals are super rare, so I thought these would just fly out the door immediately, but they haven't. However, just yesterday, I had a chap drive 4 hours with his daughter to come and see these cars, to buy one for her. Now, initially when she turned up, she was most interested in the green car, really liked the colour. That one has 3,000 kilometres on the clock and it's in great condition. It's good to go, doesn't need running in. I thought she'd take it. However, the more time she spent here, she started to warm to this grey one, mainly because it's got 153 kilometres, so delivery mileage, this car. And I think she started to like the colour more and more, or sort of like start to convince herself that she did, because this seemed like the more sensible choice, because it's not that much more expensive. Anyway, it's a classic case of, you know, are you going to buy with your head or are you going to buy with your heart? She drove both cars and loved them. And then they decided, oh, it's a bit confusing. We're going to go away and think about it and call you to let you know. And I'm waiting for their call. Whether or not they buy one of the cars, I've decided this is not the end of the story. So, am I done being a Jimny dealer? Well, I have sold the beige car and the black car, but I've still got the green one and the grey one, and I spent 9 months juggling storage, insurance, websites, buyers and warranties, and dealing with the odd minor disaster. Plus, you know, it's taken a lot of time. I didn't think it was going to be easy money, and it certainly isn't, and it's just been so time consuming. But I've also found it really interesting to see what it's like running a little import operation. I hope you'll enjoy the video. If you did, give it a like. If you want to find out if I finally get to sell these cars, then make sure you subscribe to this channel by clicking on my face. Hopefully, I will sell them soon. If you want to watch some other videos, then just click on the video windows. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.